Hi, welcome to Quilting with Lori. My name is Lori Dickman. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. I am working on a new pattern design of mine, and this is called the Rose of Sharon. And there are actually three different designs, or block designs, in this pattern. This is the Rose of Sharon applique block here in the center, and then we also have block A and B up here. And I'm going to be sharing with you how to make block A and B. This is a part of my Two's Company series, and you'll see this available out on my website. For this particular quilt, you can actually use your scrap stash, and I'm going to encourage you to do that. It's a great scrap buster. But in this quilt, I'm actually using yardage that I had purchased many years ago when my husband and I went to St. Louis. And there was a wonderful quilt shop there. I can't even remember the name of it, but I got these fabrics there. And I have been waiting for a specific design that I wanted to create to use this yardage. And so that's what I am doing. I've simply cut my yardage into the squares and rectangles that are needed for the pattern. And so that's how I've done it. But I highly encourage you to grab your scrap stash and make these blocks using your stash. And I'm going to take you to the tabletop now and show you how you can make the block A and B and even block C, which is the Rose of Sharon block, using your stash. So here are the blocks. This is block A and here's block B. They are both very simple blocks to create. Basically, you have a center square in both of them, and then the corner squares are all half square triangles. And for the simple one here, you're just using patches, and on this one, we're using rectangles to create those patches. Very simple blocks, but boy, do they make some beautiful designs when you put them together. So here is an entire quilt, and this is the queen size quilt, and all I'm using in this quilt is simply block A and B, and look at how beautiful that turns out to be. I recommend that you try that. So here's A and B. I'm going to show you what is required for each of these, and that way you can see how to put it together. Basically, we've got the center square for A, and then we've got 4 rectangles. And let's see, I think these go on the outside. Yes, they do. And the green ones go on the inside. Very simple to put together. So we're going to put those 4 patches together, and they will become the same size as this center square. For these 4 corners, we simply are going to be creating half square triangles using the green and the cream. And basically what you're doing, you're starting out with the squares that are a little bit larger. The pattern itself will give you all the size of everything that you'll need. But you're starting out with a larger square, you're drawing a diagonal line, you're sewing both sides of that diagonal line, and then you're going to cut on the drawn line, and you'll end up with a total of 4 half square triangles that you can trim down to the size of these squares, and they will go in each corner once they're sewn. I'll sew them up here in just a minute and show that to you. So here is block A. I've got the half square triangles done, and I've sewn together the rectangles, and it's simply a 9-patch, 3 rows of 3 with these, the darker part of the half square triangle is facing on the outside of the block itself. Very simple to do. You can put these together in assembly line fashion, chain piecing them, and you can get this done in no time at all. And just think how beautiful it will be if it's very scrappy. And you can swap out your values. Where I have a darker one, you can put a lighter one, etc. So that'll go together. Now let me show you block B. All right, now let's put together block B, and this one is even easier because you simply are putting together squares. There's a center square, on these 4 squares will match. And then again, we're making half square triangles with a dark and a light. And in this case, I've chosen the orange and the cream. And so when I cut this apart, these squares again are larger squares than these. These happen to be 4.5 inches, but these are larger. And so then I'll draw the diagonal line. I'll sew on a scant 1/4 of an inch on both sides of that line. I'm going to cut on that line, and I will end up with 4 half square triangle units for the corners here. And in this case, what I'll be doing is having the cream value on the outside, and the dark orange here is going to touch the same fabric here in the center. Let me go ahead and finish these half square triangles, and I'll show you what this block will look like. All right, so here's block B. It's simply, again, 3 rows of 3 squares, and very, very simple block to put together. And again, you can use your scraps using the values that I'm showing here, or you can change out your values and swap, use light where I'm using a darker value. It's totally up to you. Have fun with it. It will all depend on what you have in your scrap stash and how many blocks you'd like to make. So I'm going to go ahead and sew this together, and it will be finished. And then I can put my last row together so that I can complete my wall quilt. I'm actually making the large wall quilt here with the 4 rows of Sharon blocks in the center, and the pattern will actually walk you through how to put together these beautiful applique blocks. I brought you close here to the wall so that you could see some of my blocks here, and these are the applique blocks, the rows of Sharon. There are 3 different fabrics in the big rows right here, the green and then the plain peach, and then this is the darker peach here. So those are 3 fabrics, and then we have a total of 8 of these little rose buds that encircle the large rose flower in each block. I do not use, or I did not use, any sort of fusible when I worked with this. I simply cut these out. I traced my template, and the templates obviously come with the pattern. I traced out my templates, and then I cut out what I wanted and chose the colors that I wanted to use for each of the blocks here. And then I simply glue basted it with glue, or you could just simply use pens and pinning everything in place. And then I did a zigzag stitch using either a contrasting or a matching thread color. And that's how I did all of my applique. I like the soft feel that it's not hard. Oftentimes when you use a fusible, it becomes so stiff, and I don't like that feel. Even if it's just a wall quilt, it's not going to be used on a bed, but it's gonna go on the wall. But I just wanted it soft, and I like that. So I did not use any fusible. I simply cut out my templates from the fabric, and you can either glue baste or just pin them in place, and then applique the entire block. And then once each of the blocks were done, then you can go ahead and put them together. The small wall quilt uses just 1 applique block for the center square, and this larger one actually uses 4. I'll kind of back up here so you can see that. You can kind of see the 2 at the bottom. So there's a 4 in the center, and it's going to be a 58-inch square quilt when it's done. Now, my pattern does call for pieced borders. I really do like to piece borders, and these are really simple pieced borders, so I hope you'll try the pattern. And there are 3 borders. The inside border is just the plain darker orange. It's the plain orange. As you can see, that's the inside border, and there are 4 cornerstones that are in this light green. So that's what I've done with that. And then for the middle border, we're using rectangles, and they're simple rectangles that you put together. And this is the bottom border that I have to put on the bottom of this quilt. I don't have the 4th row on, and I don't have, of course, the bottom border on. So I've got to finish all of that. But there is the pieced border, just very simple to make. And then the outside border is, again, just that dark peach color. I love the fabrics. I have been holding on to this for years, as I mentioned, and I'm so excited that I'm finally getting this done. Can't wait to get it quilted, and I'll show you that when I do have it all quilted. I'll do a close-up for you and give you some ideas on how I've quilted it so that it might help you when you create yours. Hopefully many of you will grab your scraps and make this pattern using your scrap stash. A very simple one to make, and it will really be a great scrap buster for you. Again, the pattern will be out on my website. I'll have a link in the description box below so that you can go right out to my website and order the pattern if you would like it. It will include the templates for the rows of Sharon blocks as well. If you'd like to see me do a demo of putting this rows of Sharon block together where I'm not using fusible and I'm just simply, you can use a glue base or just simply pin it. I'd be happy to do that. Let me know if you're interested in that, and if there is enough enough interest in that, I'll certainly make a demo of that as well for you. For those of you who might not be familiar with me and my Speedy Solutions Scrap Stash book set, I do have a book that is the techniques that teaches you everything you need to know to get your scrap stash cut, sorted, organized, and ready to use to make beautiful quilts. I also have a corresponding patterns book. This set is out on my website. There is a video also that corresponds to this book. So if you'd like to see how I go about getting my scrap stash cut, sorted, organized, and ready to use so I can make beautiful quilts, please check that out. That video link will be in the description box below as well. If you like the content that I provide, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave comments. I love to read the comments from my viewers. And until next time, happy quilting.